All right, everybody, we are live again. Dynasty Mirror Search for Huru. Thank you so much for joining us. Before we get started, I always like to give thanks to everybody who supports us, who comes on, because you could be doing something else at 4:34 on a Thursday. Well, you don't have to go to work now because just about everything's still shut down. No, I don't know how it is in Florida, but in Georgia, they're starting to gradually reopen some stuff. But if you're in California, you have nothing to do. So you're probably at home. So, thank you so much for joining us and watching. We greatly appreciate it. A couple of announcements. Make sure you go to dynastymirror.com. In fact, let me put the banner up real quick. I've been using this StreamYard, and I finally figured out how to do little stuff. So I'm still navigating StreamYard and how to use it. So I'm getting a little bit better every day. So guys, go to dynastymirror.com. I need your emails. I want you guys to join my subscription list so I can, keep you up to breast in regards to what's going on. Also, too, let me put that back up. Also, too, guys, look, my books are out. So a couple of my books are out. I have my children's book, I have my sales book. Go support the books, okay? More are coming, more are on the way. So go and support either when you go to Amazon.com, put in the title, or just put in my name, Dynasty Mirror, and all my books will come up. So guys, please go and support. Let's get this back up here. Bam, there we go. So we have a special guest, and today's topic is, I want to start off with, see, this is my issue with a lot of the conspiracy theories. All right, this is my problem. Okay. So people are, I guess, concerned that Bill Gates is going to put out some type of vaccine that will have a microchip or RFID chip in it that can track you. This is my problem. Okay. Now, all the whistleblowers, like, you're saying you don't want to be tracked, you don't want to be traced, you live off the grid, but you're typing all this stuff on your cell phone,
right?
And on Facebook, which is the largest surveillance FBI, CIA situation, but you're concerned about being tracked and traced. You're on YouTube, you're on social media. So, a lot of you, I can't take you guys serious, because if the concern is being traced when you're on social media and you have a cell phone, then that's not, it doesn't make sense. It's a contradiction. But I wanted to bring a doctor on here, okay? Someone who's spent, who's invested time, money, years into being a doctor, a professional on here. Because, when you're dealing with social media, there are a lot of people on there because they have a keyboard. They think they're professionals now. And then there are a lot of people who follow them. And it's just like, it's so much misinformation being put out there. So I wanted to bring on a doctor to answer questions in regards to vaccines. And starting off, and Miss Chi, you could introduce yourself, but I'm gonna ask this question before you answer it. Go ahead and tell people who you are and your background and all of that.
Okay.
And have you studied anything formally that microchips or RFID chips that could track you? Can that be put in you via a vaccine or administered to you via a vaccine?
So I'll start by my introduction before I get into that. But I am Dr. Chi, and thank you for having me back on the show. I'm a family medicine physician, and I currently practice in Florida, and I'm a hospitalist. So I'm on the front lines. I'm in the hospital admitting and discharging patients, negative COVID and positive COVID. But I have been lucky enough to handle it on the front lines, and I'm enjoying this whole process, as stressful as it can be. But as far as vaccines and microchips and vaccines, so it's not my specialty, but I can tell you that's not real. I know I've watched Black Mirror. I don't know if you guys seen that show on Netflix or the movie, and they have all these, technology things in the future. What could possibly be something? Is it something that could happen in the future? Maybe, but to actually put it within the vaccine, that's something that is above my pay grade. That sounds like things that people have come up with and are trying to do. I mean, we're still trying to find a vaccine for COVID. So the fact that you're thinking of two different obstacles to get across is getting a COVID vaccine and then getting the chips to put into the person. That sounds a lot. That's a lot. That's just too much to even fathom right now. So if that's one of your main concerns in life, we got to do better, because again, like you mentioned, our phones are a walking tracking device.
Right.
Like, honestly, it's a walking tracking device. Like, if you want to get caught somewhere, like, have your phone on you.
Right.
So you worried about a vaccine, that's the least of your worries. Like, I'd rather you be alive because the vaccine helped prevent death than you to be worried about not getting the vaccine and dying because you still have this phone in your hand. So
let me ask you this now: the whole connection between vaccines and I think autism. Is there any? I mean, from your studies, is there any like relevance to that, or
never been linked? There's never been an actual link between vaccines and autism. There have been people saying it just because they feel like there's a connection, and people feeling like they have a voice to say that there's a connection because maybe they had a child that had autism and they blamed it on the vaccine. But there's no official study or research that actually can link those two together. There was a study that came out that people went off of, and we found out it was false reporting. He false reported studies and results to make it seem like there was a connection. And he obviously that got, debunked, and he had repercussions for that. But it's false. There's no valid connection and any link connecting vaccines with any neurological deficit.
Okay. All right, guys, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. I forgot to say that at the beginning, but make sure you like, share, and subscribe to content. Don't window shop, okay? It's not Rodeo Drive. You just peek your head in through the window at the Louis store. You're welcome. You can come in, okay? You can come in. So make sure you do that. We already asked that, brother, as far as do you think it's possible to inject the chip through vaccine? We already asked that. Now, Dr. Chi, will you personally, being a doctor, because this is where we're at now. So me personally, so obviously when we go to Africa and you're traveling throughout Africa, you have to have your yellow fever card for the most part, right? I think, again, I'm not on your pay grade, or, I'm not privy to, all the conspiracy theories. My inside sources are, I'm privy to, the special group. I don't know. I'm not. But I think that they might make it where you have to have some type of proof of immunity or some type of, vaccine for coronavirus before you could enter a country. This is the problem. Like me, I have no problem with it. I'll take the vaccine. If that means me going to Africa, I have no problem with it. But you have a lot of people who are saying that they're not going to take the vaccine. So, I don't know if there's an underground railroad to Africa from here. I don't know. I mean, I don't know the solution. Somebody even told me, hey, that's the same way our ancestors got here. That's how I'm gonna go back. But the thing is, like, when you come off the port, off that boat, unless you're gonna be like illicit cargo and sneak in, the port authority is probably going to check if you have yellow fever vaccine. So then the issue is we complain Black Lives Matter, hands up, don't shoot. I can't breathe. This racism is too hostile here in America, so I gotta go. But then those same people that want to go don't want to take the vaccine to go. I mean, should they be afraid to take the vaccine once it's available, or like, what are your thoughts on that?
So I have my opinions. To be honest, okay, so there's been some rumors and some things going around saying, oh, there might be a vaccine available by the summer. Now, if that's the case, I personally, I'm not going to take it. I'm just not. I feel like there is a due process when it comes to vaccines, enough testing and safety protocols that need to be done in order to know that it is safe.
Right.
And, I mean, I'm going to do my research before I, promote it and say, yes, you should take it and advocate for it. Same way I do with the flu vaccine. Before I advocate for it, I have to do my research and know that it's worth it and it has less side effects. If I don't have that background or that information, it's very hard for me to say you must take it now because you need it. And when it comes to like going overseas and traveling and needing the coronavirus vaccine, that might not happen because this is a virus. This is similar to a flu vaccine. It may change. It may not even work. It may help reduce the symptoms if you get coronavirus. There's not enough out there to know if this vaccine is going to be enough to say, if you get the vaccine, you're cured, or if you get the vaccine, you will never get it. There's no end all be all to this vaccine as of yet. So saying that, it's a requirement, it probably won't be that way because there's no telling that you'll still get the virus, even if you had the vaccine to begin with. And for all the people who are saying they probably still won't do the vaccine right now, I mean, I can't blame them. I can't blame them. There's just not enough research and not enough safety protocols in place at this time to know that it is safe for you. And if there is doubts, it's okay to have these doubts so early on. And that's just me being honest. So will I take it? Maybe not right now. Maybe in the future. Will I recommend it to my parents? Not right now.
When you say the future, but how far along down the road? Like what needs to be in place before you?
That's tough. It's tough. Again, I think it's going to depend on the trials that they do, the testing that they do, the safety protocols that they go through in order for me to make that decision. If they'll happen within a year or 2 years, then, and those studies are out there, then at that time I can make that decision. But right now it's still too early. It's just too early.
So as far as COVID, where are we at right now? Should we open things back up, or should we still have this stay home order? Or
so every state is different. Every state is different. There's hot spots. There's not hot spots. There's cities that are there are hot spots in other cities. I'm in Florida. I can speak to Florida and saying I think we're doing the right things, and we actually have phases. The whole state is in different phases. So phase 1 is just a gentle opening where the parks are open, the beaches are open. The restaurants are opening with restrictions. So you still have the 6 feet distance, you still have the mask, you still have those protocols in place to ensure that there's not so much gathering in one place. So it's taking it slow. I think it's okay, not because the numbers are down and not because we don't have any more cases. It's just because people are anxious and they want their economy to go back to where it was, and they need jobs and they need to get back to normal life. The hospital is the same. I'm still seeing COVID positive patients. Just because the state has opened up doesn't mean COVID went away. COVID is still here, and it's not going anywhere anytime soon. It's just not. It may slow down in the summer, but honestly, the way it's tracking, this winter will be pretty dark at this trajectory. So
say that one more time about the winter.
The winter may be a dark one. So winter is coming.
Okay, in regards to COVID,
in regards to COVID.
Okay.
Yeah, so prepare ourselves. Only reason I say that is because I don't think the U.S. is preparing appropriately.
After you finish your statement, how should the U.S. prepare? But go ahead, finish your statement.
And altogether, I just feel like there's not enough testing going on. If we really want to know the impact of how it has impacted our country, everyone should be tested and see, do you have it or do you not have it? But so many people are in the dark and they're carrying on with their lives and going to the stores and going to restaurants without knowing their status. Mm-hmm. It's just going to continue to spread. It's just going to continue to spread. So now they're just not testing everybody because there's not enough tests. And that is the truth. There was warnings ahead of schedule in January and February about, needing the appropriate PPE, we need to execute appropriately, but we took it lightly. And by the time we knew it was a problem, it was spread like wildfire. And so we're at a point where we're chasing ourselves and trying to figure out what can we do now so it won't be as bad. But the truth is, America is the worst country in the world with deaths. Like, that's a fact. So it's unfortunate.
All right. So this is so after I contracted COVID, when I was discharged from the hospital, I went to, they had like a little CVS. Well, I'm not going to call it little. Let me tell you, Dr. Chi, help me explain. Help explain this. So I went, the mother of my child was like, you need to go get retested just to see if you have it or not. So I said, okay. She said, CVS does it for free. So, Dr. Chi, listen. So, have you ever seen like these doomsday movies where like there's this virus and there's military everywhere and quarantine and there's tanks and guns?
Yeah.
So, so CVS had free, you had to sign up for it and schedule an appointment, but they have free coronavirus testing at Georgia Tech, which is a school here in Atlanta, right? In a parking deck. When I say there was so much armed security just to get tested.
Really?
I mean, I've seen more security at a University of Georgia football. I'm sorry. I've seen less security at a University of Georgia football game or sporting event or a rap concert.
Wow.
Then what I experienced just to get my COVID testing the second time. So literally you pull in, you can't even roll down a window. You have to put your phone through the window to see that you had an appointment. You creep up like another maybe 15, 20 yards. Another checkpoint. Don't roll down your window. Show your ID and your proof of appointment. Did you go down again? Same thing. So then they had it like barricaded, so you had to like turn around and go into the parking deck. When I say it was armed security.
I don't understand that.
It was weird. It was armed security like everywhere.
Okay.
Military and police. So you go into the parking deck, armed security everywhere. So then you get to the testing station. Like you had to just crack your window down a little bit, and they gave you the little swab, and I had to jam my nose, both nostrils. That hurts like hell. Then you pull around, you park, and they will call you and let you know your results, and then they'll bring this out.
Okay.
But my question is, why? Do you know why there was so much security? I don't know if you know that. It was crazy.
I'm confused. So what was your result?
It was negative.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
I don't know why they have that type of security. Like, what are they protecting? I'm confused. Why are they wasting security on a simple routine lab work?
But what's crazy? Like when I go, like once a year, I get my checkup, make sure I'm good. All that STDs and stuff. Like there's no security there.
They don't care about you then.
Right. All right, let's hear.
I don't get that.
Somebody's saying in the chat room, lockdown isn't helping her. Herd immunity is the way. What are your thoughts on that? That's above my pay grade.
The lockdown isn't helping.
And herd immunity
is the way.
Can you define herd immunity? Like I've heard this term before, but what exactly is it?
So I think basically what he's basically saying is that we need to allow natural ways to occur. So if we're locked down, that we're not able to spread the virus or spread infection the natural way, so everybody can get immune to it, and so that everyone is affected the way they are supposed to be affected. Like the flu virus, we don't do anything special for the flu season. We just, if it happens, it happens, and if you get it, you get it. You're immune to it. You build the antibodies, and you should be okay. But I don't agree with it because people are dying. So I'm against death. And this is just an extra statistic of deaths every year added to the toll because of a virus that is new to us. So I'm not for it.
So the argument would be, well, people die of the flu.
The argument would be what?
People die of the flu. If death is a concern, people die of the flu. That's what people are saying. Like, I guess there's more deaths caused by the flu then COVID. That's like the kind of the argument against being quarantined. Like, why are we treating this way when people die of the flu?
Because this is, to me, this is new. This is an added problem to what we already naturally had. It's so, yes, people die of the flu, people die of heart attack, people die of COPD, people die of heart failure. Does that mean that we should introduce something else to the population so people can die more? Like, I don't see how that makes a like why that's even an argument of, okay, we should just continue our lives because this is a virus and people are going to die anyways. That's a mindset people have. Like, people are going to die anyway, so you might as well just let this happen. I mean, if you want half the population to eventually die without taking actions, then the government is doing the right job. Then we have nothing to worry about. But let it be your auntie or your grandmother.
Right, exactly.
They won't make those comments anymore.
But you know what's crazy? So back when Nipsey Hussle was murdered, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody had their conspiracy theory, like the U.S. government, this,
Right.
that, and the other. And my argument was everything is a conspiracy theory until it's your cousin, your mother, your father, your brother or sister who's on the other side of that gun.
Right.
Because when that happens, there's no conspiracy theory.
Right, exactly.
Right? You know, Nipsey Hussle and everyone else, you know, it's a conspiracy. Dr. Sebi, you know, it's all a conspiracy theory. But, you know, with your family member, it's no conspiracy theory. So
exactly, it's a real thing.
It's a real thing. Let's see here. So COVID isn't going anywhere. When should we get back to normal life? Like you being a doctor, when should people be able to go back to work and, you know,
go back to work? I think people can get back to work depending on your state, and that will be within the next couple months. But during that time when they're at work, it's when you have to take that extra precaution of doing what you need to do to protect yourself. I think there's not going to be a normal anymore, like what it used to be pre-COVID. This is going to be the new normal where we're wearing the mask, we're making sure we're washing our hands, and we're keeping hand sanitizer in our pocket. Like
if you could find some hand sanitizer.
That too, or make it from scratch, even though those are almost gone too. But yeah, it's just going to be the new normal of when you go to work, you're going to wipe down your desk and work area. When I go to work, like I wipe down everything I use or about to use before I sit down. Every time I use a door handle, you got to wipe that down just so you can be safe, because you never know. Like, that's just going to be the new normal. So whether that new normal is going to be in 2 weeks or it's going to be in 2 months, that's just what it's going to be, because COVID's not going anywhere.
All right, let's see here. Guys, if you want to call in, we're going to take some calls in about 8 minutes. Email me, uhuru@searchforhuru.com, uhuru@searchforhuru.com. If you have any questions for Dr. Chi, again, email me, uhuru@searchforhuru.com. We'll take some calls in about 8 minutes. Let's see. Katrina O'Connor says, she said it wrong. You spread immunity by being out among people. Now, see, this is my thing. Now, Katrina, are you a doctor? Like, Katrina, are you a doctor? You know, because I mean, I'm gonna go with the doctor versus some of these comments in the chat.
But no, I hear you, but that's not. I did say that when he talked about immunity. I said that is what we're doing. When you're around people, that's when you build immunity, and you're spreading the virus from other people. I said that. So
okay.
I don't know. Anyways.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Your brother, the Nubian. I've seen doctors say that when things open back up, the people who stayed in will get sick because staying in weakened their immune systems.
I've heard the doctors. Oh, okay. I know what he's talking about. That YouTube video of those two doctors. Listen, those doctors were discredited. Honestly, like half the things they were saying were not true. They kept saying it was facts. It was facts. The whole Association of Emergency Medicine like shunned them down. They shut them down. They said, no, we're not affiliated with them. What they're saying is not necessarily true. So basically these two doctors went on and told and basically explained to the world that if we are in quarantine and we're isolated, we are not being affected, or we're not getting enough germs or bacteria and getting affected by, and when we're such in close quarters, that we're not being spread out into the world. And because we're locked in, our immune system will get weak. And so when our immune system gets weak, then we'll get viruses and bacteria infections more often. And that's not true. He's making it seem like if you're in quarantine for a month, all of a sudden your immune system's going to drop and you're going to get back to being a newborn baby and be more affected by infections. And that's not true. It's not true because sitting at your house, there's bacteria everywhere. As much as you want to clean down everything, you're always in contact with good bacteria, bad bacteria, viruses, dirt, germs, all these things that are in the air that you don't even know about, that you're being constantly attacked by. In your body that you've used and you've over since you've been younger, you've built an immune system to fight all of this off. So just being locked in closed corners for a month is not going to say, oh my gosh, my immune system can't afford it anymore. That's not true. So don't believe that YouTube video. Half the things they said were false.
So guys, if you want to call in, again, email address is uhuru@searchforhuru.com. It's in the chat room, uhuru@searchforhuru.com. Guys, make sure you get the like button. Also, go to Amazon, buy the books, support. Greatly appreciate it. Now, Dr. Chi, will we be able to fly home to Nigeria by August?
Oh no. I don't know. I hope you are able to. You can.
I'm supposed to be there right now. I was supposed to be there in March, and I'm supposed to be there right now.
Oh, yeah, no. So August is a possibility. It's a possibility, but international flights and travel is, I don't know. To be honest, you may have to put that in pencil in your calendar, not pen.
Like I said, for the tour, you guys come July 10th. If, Nigeria is talking about 14-day quarantine or anything like that, we're just going to cancel it and hopefully do it again in November when we have our festival. But yeah, I mean, I'm supposed to be in Nigeria right now as we speak. I was supposed to leave a couple Sundays ago.
Oh.
And I was supposed to be in there in March, but good thing I didn't go in March because like literally by the time we're supposed to go, that's when I came down coronavirus. So yeah, but I'm ready to go. So
I'm ready to travel too, trust me.
Yeah. So what's up with Dr. Chi? What are you working on? What's good? What's good with Dr. Chi?
So let's see. I do a lot. One of the things I have is a nonprofit, and I love giving back. So right now I'm working on giving back to some of the homeless shelters that have been affected by COVID. And some of them are in need of more of the toiletries and the hygiene kits. So trying to work on that and putting something together for them, that things that are available. And there's toilet paper now, so I can go get some toilet paper and just give it to the homeless shelters and even the domestic abuse shelters that's been kind of quarantined on their own because there's no one out. Usually people are helping all the time, but because everyone's kind of been alone to themselves, people kind of forgot about them and they're in need. So one of the things I'm trying to do is to give them some hygiene kits and some toiletries and things they can benefit from that they're missing out on, because we're all affected by this COVID, unfortunately, especially ones that who are already in need. They're in need now.
Yeah. So let's see here. Someone just asked for the link. I sent it to you, Melvin. I sent you the link. So we're waiting on you so you can come in and ask your question, guys. Please, no trolls. Please, no trolls. All right, but Melvin, I sent you the link. So we are waiting on you so you could come in and ask your question. And the topic, guys, if you're just jumping in, can microchips be, I guess, implanted into via a vaccine? That was the question, because what's being put out there is that this new coronavirus vaccine is, when it's injected into a RFID chip or a microchip is going to be in you, and it's going to follow you around for the rest of your life, but you have a phone and Facebook page and, all that. So yeah. So Melvin, we are waiting on you. You're more than welcome to come ask your question. So I know for some of the airlines, like I think it's Qantas or Qatar, they're actually doing rapid tests at the gate.
Oh, really?
how effective are those rapid tests? Do you think? Like,
So from our hospital and our area and our health system, we've actually got sensitivities back for we use 3 different tests. There's one that's a rapid that you get back within 45 minutes, and there's one that's like a semi-rapid, and you get that back within a few hours. And there's a one that's like 24-hour time turnaround, and that one. So they're all almost, it's pretty much like a 95% sensitivity, but that rapid one that's 45%, our studies show that it's only 85% sensitive. So if a patient that we think is high suspicion for having COVID, but initially tests negative for that rapid, we test them again in 24 hours using that other more sensitive test. Does that make sense?
right.
Yeah. So these tests aren't like if you test negative, yay, I don't have it, because there are some false negatives. So meaning that they really do have COVID, they just happen to test negative for it. So I wouldn't get all excited, especially if they are symptomatic and they have a high suspicion for having COVID. They probably still may have it. They just happen to not have enough viral shedding of the virus, or the incubation period is too early on to even show positivity. So maybe they're at day 3 or 4, but then you test them again on day 10 or 11, then they'll show positive at that time.
Mm-hmm. What about blood testing? So Gloria, from my understanding, in fact, I wonder, so guys, this could be a good opportunity because obviously if they do rapid testing at the gate, they would have to hire a third party to administer those tests, like a Delta airline attendant or whatever at the gate. You know, they're not qualified to prick you because
that would be a lab tech.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that could be, that could be a nice little contract, Dr. Chi, idea.
I mean, who wants to get pricked before they go onto a flight, though?
That's what they were doing. That's what I read. In fact, I'm gonna try to find an article, but that's what they were doing. I think it's Qantas or Qatar Airways. That's what they were pricking.
They were getting blood tests.
Hold on, let me find an article. Let's see here.
If they get blood tests, I mean, I don't think that's a rapid testing, though. Like they send it to the lab, it has to go processed, and will it be in time for their flight to get there? It's a lot to go into that. I'm assuming it was a nasal swab.
Here we go. Emirates Airline is giving. Here we go. Let me read the article.
Mm-hmm.
And then let's see here. Let me go ahead and share the screen real quick. Where are we? No, it was Emirates. I'm just going to go ahead and read the article.
Emirates
is giving a rapid test for coronavirus to passengers before boarding. Emirates has become and this was April 15th, 2020, which is my birthday. Emirates has become the first airline in the world to screen passengers for coronavirus using a pre-boarding blood test.
Mm.
The Dubai-based carrier started administering rapid results tests to passengers on site in a check-in area of Terminal 3 at Dubai International Airport on Wednesday. The blood tests for coronavirus conducted by the Dubai Health Authority were given to passengers on a flight departing Dubai for Tunisia. Before they were allowed access to the gate and permitted to board, during the test, blood is drawn from a finger prick and the results are processed in just 10 minutes.
Wow.
Emirates says that it plans on expanding the coronavirus blood test for flights to nations that require arriving passengers to be screened for the virus. Yep.
I mean, it's a good Band-Aid to say that they're negative, but again, it's not 100% test. And they're using the finger prick. So like if you had diabetes, it's like one of those, like they finger prick you and you have a little bit of blood. So anybody can do that. You don't need to be a phlebotomist.
Really?
Yeah. That one seems simple enough.
I just think the liability, like if something happens, they could sue.
Pricking your
finger. I don't know if they prick you wrong. People sue for everything.
I mean, I'm sure they signed something that says, in the case you bleed to death,
the finger.
We're not held responsible. You want to take this flight, you got to get this test done.
All right, guys. Again, if you want to call in, email Uhuru at search4uhuru.com. Call in and ask your question. Email is in the chat room. I sent the link out to Melvin Kamara. I sent the link out to you. We're waiting for you to call in. So again, if you want to call in, that is the link. Come hop in and you can ask your question. Let me ask you, as far as people who are interested in getting into the medical field because of this coronavirus situation, would you encourage them to look elsewhere, or would you still encourage them to get into the medical field?
Before this coronavirus,
Yeah,
being
before.
a doctor is not even something to play with, to be honest. I think it's only a field that if you really had desire and motivation to become one, then you should become one regardless of what comes in the way, because it's not easy. It sucks going to med school, and it's a lot of challenges that come with it and a lot of liability that comes with it as well. But the overall satisfaction is treating people and making them become better. And if that is something that you want to do, then by all means. But if it's not and you're in it for the money, please save your energy, because it won't be worth it at all.
Ethan Cummings says, does the viral load you are exposed to of coronavirus affect whether or not you will be asymptomatic or the length of which symptoms will occur?
So that's something that's still kind of being tested, and people are still doing research on that. There is some indication that maybe that people who've been exposed so many times have been more sick. Like, for instance, there's doctors that have been treating a lot of COVID patients without the proper PPE, of course, and they didn't realize it, and they ended up getting sick or dying from the coronavirus. So there is some possible link between exposure, a lot of exposure, into being more sick than normal. As far as the length of symptoms, that is hard. It's hard to say. It's really hard to say about the length because everyone's different.
Okay. Do you believe that eating less strengthens the immune system?
Eating less?
Yeah.
No, I think eating a certain type of food increases your immune system and strengthens your immune system. Like, there's obviously the healthier vegetables and fruits and the natural things that boost your immune system. Drinking enough water every day, those are things that strengthen the immune system, regardless I don't think it's less, it's more of abundance versus eating more processed fast foods, all the things that, you can see, canned foods, frozen foods, those things booze out, weaken your immune system, because you end up developing the diabetes or hypertension and things, the chronic conditions that ultimately just weaken your immune system altogether. And that's why you find the people that are in the hospital because of COVID are ones with chronic conditions, because their immune system's already shot.
All right. Somebody said Cali's on lockdown till August. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
August.
Yeah, I just, because the thing is, like, some people didn't get their stimulus checks yet. I heard, from my understanding, with unemployment, it is a mess trying to file for unemployment in California. So it's one of those things. Like, I mean, what do you do? Because I mean, the bill, like your mortgage, you just still do. Like, I mean, I know for right now. They're doing a forbearance thing, but your mortgage is due at the end of those 3 months. Things could possibly change. So I don't know. It's just
is that definite? I'm not from California, but I thought they started opening up parts of California.
Well, Danny? Can you post the link, Danny's World, to the chat in the chat room for that? Because I know they said June. I know for a fact they said lockdown till June. Like,
someone said I thought they opened up Cali beaches. Yeah, I could have sworn they started opening up slowly, like in phases. But August seems like a stretch because it's too far ahead to know what's going to happen. I mean, they're going to might as well just lock down the rest of the year, and that's the case.
Yeah. So what we'll do, if let's see here. So I guess Melvin, you're not calling in. What we'll do, we'll go ahead and start closing out. No, I was responding to an earlier comment. Okay, so you didn't say it. You were responding to an earlier comment. Okay. Let's see here. So what we'll do, we'll go ahead and start closing out. So Dr. Chi, how can people reach you, contact you? I know you got your own platform now, and I know you're working out and, doing running and, doing sprints and push-ups and stuff. And
I do a lot. But yeah, I mean, you guys can follow me on my YouTube. I just started, so I'm really posting a lot of things, update on different health tips, and there's a lot of information, especially for the Black community and what we need to do to help ourselves and help our loved ones to be better overall, because we already know the health system is against us. So we got to find every possible way and every outlet we can to help ourselves and take ownership in our health. So on YouTube, you can find me, Ask Dr. Chi, and subscribe there. And I have some new videos uploading soon.
Okay.
And of course, on Instagram, I'm active on Instagram. You can see my name under here at ask_Dr. Chi. And my website has all about me. If you want to know more about me, if you have some questions you want for someone you know wants to go to med school or has to need some advice about anything in the medical field, my website is thedrchi.com. So I'm easily accessible. And I just really hope you guys be patient during this COVID. It's nothing to play with. I know we're all anxious and you want to get out and do whatever, but just hold on tight. I'm telling you, my hospital has not gotten better. We're still seeing COVIDs every day.
Wow.
Every day. So there's outbreaks every day. So just be careful and just look out for your loved ones, especially those who are higher risk.
I want to read this last question. As a physician, how does she feel about CDC recommendations for vaccines that have been found to have adverse effects on children? Are you empowered to say no when CDC makes a questionable mandate?
Absolutely. Like I mentioned earlier, even with the COVID vaccine that's supposed to be coming out this year, I'm very strong in saying that if I don't support something because I don't know enough about it, I'm not going to recommend it for other people if I'm not going to recommend it for myself. And I always I really stress the importance of everyone to take ownership in their own health and do the appropriate research. And if you're still confused, ask your primary doctor or get a second opinion to really get an insight. Conspiracy theories are out there. So you have to weed those out, because you're going to drive yourself nuts and think that everything is real and the microchips are here and there. It'll get you crazy. Do your research, do the right research, the appropriate websites that are, validated. So yes, empower yourself to say no. If it's not something for you and you don't have enough research for it, say no. I am an advocate for the flu vaccine because I've done my research and because I know the true side effects. It's been around a long time to know that no, it does not cause autism, and no, it doesn't cause you to have the flu. But yes, it does help lower your, risk and your symptoms when you do get the flu. So do your research.
Absolutely. Everyone, thank you so much for joining us. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Also, make sure you go buy a book, go support, Black authors. We're out there. We're out there.
Yes.
Go and support, go to Amazon, buy some books, more are coming. I have a lot I'm doing. You know what? I'm taking advantage of this time. I was out for about a couple weeks, but now I'm back. I'm making sure I'm taking advantage and being creative and putting stuff out for you guys to enjoy. So, go support, like, share, subscribe, go to dynastymir.com so you guys can get on that subscription list. I need your emails. So thank you, everyone. Until next time, Dynasty Mirror, search for Huru. Peace.